Neil, it's been over a month since the Preston game. It's been a long time coming, this Watford match, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It tends to happen like that. What you'll probably find now is that the rounds come thick and fast as we found last year. I think we ended up playing game, from one week to the next towards the end of the competition. But yeah, it's given us the 3 or 4 weeks just to reflect on the Preston performance and obviously prepare for the Watford game once we knew that they were through and when they beat Crawley in the previous round.
Obviously, you won 6-1 against Preston, but I don't think I've ever spoken to a manager who was disappointed after a 6-1 win. Obviously, looking to improve on the performance from that 90 minutes against Preston.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd certainly take performance like we played in extra time. Some fantastic football and everything what we're about. But as we spoke on the night and as we said to the players, the 90 minutes wasn't good enough, and that's the reason it went to extra time. No disrespect to Preston. They gave us a great game on the night. But if we'd have been better ourselves, if we'd have relaxed better on the ball and had a little bit more confidence about us, then I would have hoped it wouldn't have gone to the extra time. And that was a big kick up the backside for us, because we could have quite easily gone out, with a bit of bad luck, and Preston take one of the chances. We're out, we're done. So it was a rude awakening for us. Obviously, the proof in that will be if we can go and make sure we don't take 90 minutes to get going again on Saturday.
Watford next, and they're a very different proposition to Preston tactically, aren't they?
Yeah, I went down to watch them with Jerry Gale. We went down and watched the game against Crawley down at Crawley, and totally different sort of playing philosophy really. Preston are a very direct team, play to the big centre forward from back to front, route one if you like, and they did it very well, and good luck to them. But Watford are more of a ball playing team, like to get the ball into feet, like to play through the thirds, and have got more ball playing type players. So it'd be a totally different game, but really one we're used to. We tend to play against those sort of sides every week in the under-18 league with the Chelseas and Arsenals and Tottenham. So Watford will play a similar type of passing game, similar to ourselves. So it should be a more pleasing on the eye game, shall I say.
You've had 4 of your players move permanently up to under-21s, Neil, and even though they will be playing in the Youth Cup, I mean, do you have as much time as you'd like with the team that are going to be playing on Saturday? Yeah,
not ideal. Obviously, you'd want them day in, day out, but it's not about that. It's obviously, the 4 going up means we're doing our job off the back of last year, and so many signed pro contracts. That is what it's all about. Of course, that weakens us for league games, and you tend to not have a settled squad for the FA Youth Cup as we're finding now. I think we're going to be getting them together sort of 2 days before the game, but that's the nature of the game. And obviously, if players are making that progression through into the first team, as we've seen with the Murphys particularly, that is ultimately what it's all about. But we'll have enough time to get the messages to them. The players know us anyway. They've only been left sort of 2 or 3 days, so we'll be ready for it.
On the flip side, how much of it is a benefit to you having players like Cameron Norman, Ben White, who played last year, experience going to places like Vicarage Road?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the grounds we played at last year, the City Ground, Goodison Park, obviously Stamford Bridge, and of course Carrow Road in front of nearly 22,000 fans can only give those players that did play in that massive experience. We were wondering how they'd react to it. They coped brilliantly with it against Forest, but then I think even 1 or 2 were opening their eyes when they ran out at Carrow Road and saw, like I say, nearly a full house. But that can only benefit them, and that's why I was a little bit surprised and disappointed at Preston, really, because there was 3 or 4 of them that had played in that, and they were as guilty as all the rest of not being able to just put the foot on the ball and say, hang on a minute, we've been here before. So we can use that Preston experience hopefully to our advantage, and hopefully we don't repeat that. But certainly the further you get in the competition, and certainly when you're playing on first team grounds, those that did play last year, you would hope will be able to take that into the strides.
Is there an extra zip in training in the week leading up to an FA Youth Cup game?
There always is. There always is. There's always a little. They're always trying to catch the eye that little bit more. Whether it's right or wrong, I think it's probably the same at first team level as well. You've got an FA Cup final, if you like. I defy anybody to not have that little bit more spring in the step. There's more press. There's more. The players sense that there's something around the corner, and the FA Youth Cup's as big as it gets at this level, as we saw from last year. So yeah, there's been a little bit of spring in the step. We've got a couple of days to go now in preparations, and just to make sure we're right on the day.
I know you don't want to look too far ahead, Neil, but there is a home tie against Liverpool on the other side. If you come through on Saturday, how much of an incentive is that? It's
huge. Again, I went to watch that game, Liverpool-Aston Villa. They played at a rugby league ground up in St Helens, and obviously knowing that the winners of ourselves and Watford played, now we know Liverpool. It was only right that I went there as part of our preparation. So I know what they're about. We've got the DVD on there. I watched the game in person, but that'll all be put to the back burner for now because it'll be irrelevant if we don't beat Watford. So if and when we beat Watford on Saturday, then I'll get the next folder out for Liverpool. That'll be a huge challenge, but I wouldn't never pay Watford the disrespect of planning and preparing for Liverpool, because us more than anyone have learned after the previous round at Preston, if we don't do this right, then there is no Liverpool.
And finally, as a coach, how much do you relish these one-off, win or lose, boom or bust type games?
Yeah, I love it. It's what it's all about. Loved every bit of it last year, and obviously we went all the way and won the thing. So yeah, I love every game, whether it's a league game, but obviously, as we say, the FA Youth Cup is one that makes people sit up and take notice. I think the fans get behind it, want to see how you've done. Even the first team staff have been brilliant again. I think maybe even one or two are thinking of going down there with them not having a game. So it is a bit special, and it's something we're all really looking forward to.